Hello, everybody. Joe Malone here. It is Friday, the 30th of October, and it looks as if we had a big sell-off today going into the election. I think a lot of people are de-risking, and definitely we are in a sell-off situation. So, time to kind of maybe head for the sidelines a little bit. I definitely sold some Tesla today, sold some other positions as well, and been moving into cash. So it's kind of a situation where we may, I don't know if we're going to enter a bear market. Wait a minute. This is my YouTube. There, yeah. TikTok. I have this TikTok stand, and it just doesn't work very well. Trying to get it to work. There we go. Maybe this will work a little bit better. Okay, hold on. Jeez. Come on. Sorry about this. Well, that's probably for today. That's the best I'm going to do on TikTok. It looks as if, the easiest thing to do if you're looking on TikTok is to jump over to, to YouTube, because it's just more reliable platform. Do have a lot of people that are great on TikTok, but this is just the bear. Just doesn't work that well, unfortunately. I have a lot of people on it. Oh, there we go. Okay, well, you get to see my green screen here. Oh well, let's see if I can change this around here a little bit. Darn it. I'm having all kinds of problems today with the TikTok. So hopefully I can get TikTok going here, and let's see if we can do that. So let's go to live on TikTok. Go live. There we go. 3, 2, 1. And hopefully we'll just put it right there. And that'll have to suffice for today. So there we go. On TikTok. All right, but thanks for tuning in on Friday. Big sell-off today. And I just want to get into the into the slides here. So here we go. And again, I was selling off today. Going in here, the Nasdaq is down, as you can see. We are basically selling off. 3% down today. It pulled down. I think we're going to see, come election day, we may be back testing the lows here. So we did breach several key levels on the, we did breach several key levels. So it is essentially a little bit of a sell-off. Here is the picture of the spider, just taken a few minutes ago, and it's pulled right down. Right down to the low here. We've got a relative strength. This was the key level that I was watching for, 320. It's at 323, and if it pulls back on Monday, which it may do, then I think we're going to have to get it all in the cash, because we may be headed down for a retest of the low. We just don't know what's going to happen, but it broke that key level, and I do think that we are going to be pulling back. And I don't think we're going to pull back all the way to the 211 that we made on March 23rd, 2020, but I do think we're going to be pulling back a little bit here as we speak, because this was a key sell-off today. We'll see if there's strength on Monday, but it's not looking like that is the case. So. Also, the QQQ has breached a key level, that being 275. It's below 275, and it is at the low of its range with fairly high volume. So that's going to pull back as well, too. So a lot of profit taking is going on right now, and just want to show you my holdings. I sold all my Tesla this morning. It pulled back, and 7% is where. Is where I take my losses. So I took, I sold off. I'm still in Cloudflare. That's doing fairly well. Qualcomm, it's off a bit. I may be out of Qualcomm by Monday. Greystone Bitcoin Trust is doing well, and Tupperware. That's about all I have. Everything else is in cash, and it's just one of those things where it's just pulling back, and it's moving, it's moving lower. Just want to show you a picture of the small portfolio here. This shows cash here, and then this is my Qualcomm Cloudflare, and then I have 2 positions. I have 1.5 full positions in Cloudflare. I have a small position in Greystone, and then a full position in Tupperware. But everything else has been sold out currently, and we're waiting for a potential that we may see some more. May see some more damage here. So that's kind of the way it goes. So let's take some questions. Hey, forgive my ignorance, but does options trading affect stocks price significantly when they trade? Thoughts on Tesla? It does to some extent. I typically sell covered calls. I had 2 covered calls that I had. I owned the underlying stock as well. When the stock fell, I sold, and then I bought back the options. So I am completely out of Tesla right now, but it does affect it somewhat. Basically, the options are going to tell you kind of what the market is looking at in the future. So that's kind of the way options go. And I'd like to get into a lot bigger discussion on options, but right now, just want to take the questions. I thank you very much for the question, though. What's the best way to learn options trading? Well, there's a lot of different ways to learn option trading. One of the best ways, one of the ways I think that you could get started on option trading, and what helped me a lot, is if you go over to my Learn to Trade bookshelf, and this is at www.Dallas Trading Floor, there is a book that I think is really, really good on the whole segment when you're getting started trading options, and it's the very best way to do it, I think. And that is this book by Alan Ellman. It's called Exit Strategies for Covered Call Trading, Covered Call Writing. That would be a definitely good one to start with, and that's available on the Learn to Trade bookshelf. Very good. This kind of gives you it basically gives you an overview of only one kind of option, and that is the covered call. But that is the safest option to learn how to start trading first. And then once you master that, then you can go on to the other ones. The problem with options are a lot of people will go in, they'll just buy naked options, and of course they'll lose money. 70% of the people that buy options lose money. You want to be selling options if you possibly can, or what they call writing options. So that's the reason I recommend the Alan Ellman book so much, Exit Strategies for Covered Call Writing, because it shows you sort of how to do that. So that's a very important kind of thing to look at when doing that. So that's kind of my take on that. Hey, Jim, what do you think about Netflix and Tesla? Well, Tesla just, Netflix, basically what happened, basically what happened here was that we just had we just had a kind of a sell-off, and that's sort of what happened. Let me see if I can get a good chart for you. I'm having a lot of trouble today. Unfortunately, I caught my virus. My browser caught a virus, and I am trying to rejigger everything. I've got virus scanning software running and everything. So I hope you'd ever get the search virus, but it's a nasty one. That's one of the reasons I moved over to Macintosh, because I had a lot of trouble in Windows as well with viruses. And unfortunately, today I am just being inundated with viruses. I don't know what's going on. And so I'm sorry for a lot of the technical difficulties. I'm trying to bring up the screen right now to give you a look-see on that. So hopefully I can go over to an alternative look-see here for charts. And this is not going to be my normal MarketSmith charts. This will be just the regular IBD charts. But let's look at Netflix right now in FLX to see if we can give you kind of look at that, see what happened here today. Yeah, just really very much of a down day today. Hopefully we'll get over there. We're having a little processing difficulty, so hopefully I'll get a screen here in just a second. Hopefully. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like I'm getting. Okay, I will hopefully have a screen for you in a second to give you that. But for right now, we are, basically what happened with the sell-off is that we had a There we go. So we finally got it. We've got a screen here. So there we go. Great. Basically, what happened is with Netflix, we had a tremendous pullback. After earnings, there was a buying activity and then selling. I think a lot of this has to do with selling into the election, and we shall see what will happen after the election. But again, I'm having a lot of difficulty technically today. As far as there we go. As you can see, it's having a little trouble with my system. It's just a lot of there's a lot of network traffic, unfortunately. So let me see if I can bring up. This is the Netflix chart, and basically, where we are here is we pulled back from the 50-day moving average. We're still above the 200, which is good. We're still in trend, which is good, but definitely, I definitely sense a change in market direction right now, and I think that we may be in a situation there where we may not be able to. Oh, goodness gracious, this is terrible. Sorry about it. We're just having a lot of technical issues there, unfortunately. Okay, so let's see if I can answer another question. I have everything. I had profits on playing safe. We'll start investing after the election. Good for you. It's definitely, I think really going into this election, that's going to be the main thing. And, it's just, let me see if I can bring up something. Boy, it's not letting me move here. I'm afraid I'm going to have to sign off, everyone, for today. We're back up now. I'm having trouble with my browser. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so maybe I can get a browser here. Hold on one second. I was hit with a thing called the Search browser virus, and unfortunately, it is just absolutely killed my screen here. So I apologize for that. Not being able to give you quick. Oh golly. Okay, well, at least I did. Okay, I have something. I have a browser now, so there we go. Okay, apologize for that. Let's see if I can. How do you see the market going after the election? It depends on who wins. I mean, it really does. It depends on who wins after the election. I do believe that if we do, if it's drawn out, which it may be, it's looking kind of like that we may see the market move down. It all has to do with stimulus and the chances for that being passed. And I really don't like to give political opinion, but if we have a fraudulent election, which may happen this time, there's a lot of forces in play. Unfortunately, if we do have that, I think there will be a massive sell-off on the market. So hopefully that won't happen. I'm getting into cash because it's just it's going to be a very, very tough election. I mean, there's going to be a lot of fraud. And there's a lot of people that we are going to be exposed here. So it's going to be difficult. So I do think I kind of threw in the towel today. I've been selling today going in. As you can see, Netflix is off. It's down quite a bit. It's off $30 a share. Well, that's almost 10%. So we've had a massive pullback in the market. And I don't think that may end. So definitely time to get into cash. I think that we're going to have a market trend under pressure this time around. I think we're going to have a market trend under pressure, and it's just time to kind of play it safe and just play it safe. Should we start scaling in a few positions? No, I think we should start scaling out right now. Until we get it all clear, I think it's time to kind of move into cash, take your profits, and pull back. I definitely have been doing that in my. I've definitely doing that in my situation as well. So I kind of want to show you exactly how my portfolio is. This is a small portfolio, by the way, that I have, and there we go. Okay, so hopefully we can pull that up and show you that. And there we go. All right, so. Boy, it is slow so today. Sorry about that. I have there's several, there's a T1 coming into this building, and it just can't handle this. I've never seen it quite like this. As you can see, I'm half in cash currently. The only, and I am out of Tesla completely. I did sell it this morning because it violated the 7% rule. I took the loss, not a lot, but I did take the loss, and I'm just waiting on that. The only thing I'm in currently is Cloudflare. I'm still up on Cloudflare on one of my positions. I have a half position that's a little bit down. I'm up on Tupperware, oddly enough. Tupperware has done quite well. It's up very, very strongly right now. And that's really it. I'm moving into cash and basically waiting for the results of the election, because depending on who wins or if there is a winner, it's going to be it may cause a sell-off. If we don't get a winner in 48 hours after the election, there's going to be a massive sell-off on the market, I believe. So we got to be careful about that. Really, really careful. I see the market going, basically the way I see the market going into the elections is, I do see, if we don't have resolve on who is going to win the election, I do think there's going to be a sell-off. And I'm not a negative Nelly here, but but I've been selling. To be honest with you, I've been selling because I don't trust. I don't trust with all the problems that we've been having, with all the revelations that have been going on, especially with the Biden camp. I think that we may have a big sell-off, and that would be that could be very, very, very bad. So I want to be very clear on that. We could have a very large sell-off on the market now. Did I come to this conclusion in the last few days? Well, I've been seeing the market change a little bit in terms of its in terms of where it's where it's headed. But I have been moving to cash, and that's the market trend under pressure. That I have been moving into cash, and I think that you might want to consider closing some of your positions, because who knows? I mean, this may be totally a false alarm. I may be totally wrong on this, but I think we may have a sell-off after seeing what I'm seeing right now with the key levels broached on the indexes. I think we may have a sell-off. So be careful in this market. Be careful in this market. I wouldn't scale into any positions right now. I kind of hold on to cash. I've sold everything I had a profit on. Stuck with apps, Tesla, and Marvell. We'll start investing after very good. I think Shelby, that's right. I think that's kind of where we're at. That's kind of where we're at. We got to be that way right now in the market. Hey brother, can you go over ticker UAVS? Seems like an amazing buy point. ATM. A lot of funds are in. Let's see if I can give you something like that. Unfortunately I don't have my my full capability today. I've had a little bit of system difficulty, but let's see what we can do on the chart. I'll give you the best chart that I have, really. This is sort of a penny stock. I don't recommend it right now based on its chart pattern, but let's take a look at the chart pattern anyways. Here it is. We have a chart pattern on it, and basically we have a downward trending chart here. It's going from upper left to lower right, and that is not what we want to see. It's less than it's $1.96, and it's down today. I would not recommend this one. I'm sorry to be negative on you, but we're going into this election, and I do think we're going to see a sell-off. We're already starting to see a sell-off as well. So it's the kind of thing where it may not be as good as it was in the last few months. Let me see if I can bring up the correct chart. There we go. Let's see if I can sign in here. If it'll let me. Hopefully it will. All righty. Sorry about all this rejiggering here, but I've had some issues with a virus a browser virus, a Chrome browser virus that has sort of tripped me up here a little bit. So I apologize for some of my charts. So let's look at time to jump into the SQQQ. Probably let's take a look at the SQQQ. I got my other charts up, and that should be, yeah, okay. This is the chart on the SQQQ. You know, everybody, Adrian has a really good point here. The SQQQ is a counter-cyclical chart. It's up $2.21. This might be the buy going into the election, is the SQQQ, because this shorts the market when there's some downward pressure on the market. So let's look to see kind of what the checklist is. Well, it's not bad. This is a little bit different because this is an ETF, and you use this in conjunction with other things. But it has been moving up as of late. As of late, it has been moving higher. So it does appear, at least because of this bar here, it does appear that we might be seeing the time for the SQQQ. So this might be a way to mitigate some of the damage. Can you do Amazon? Absolutely, I can. You know, Amazon kind of fell off fell off here a little bit. It does, people are taking their profits out of it. It had a good chart pattern going in here, but it just didn't perform well. As you can see, it just took a real dump. It's basically right above the 3,000 mark. There's a lot of selling pressure. Unfortunately, the next stop on this one probably is about 2,600. I don't think it'll necessarily pull that low, but if we go into a market downtrend, it will. So not a good time to be in Amazon. If you're down in Amazon, I think it's a good time to sell right now, because I don't necessarily think that we're going to get any resolve on Amazon before the election. So I think that's the way it might be before the election. Sorry about that. My MS tool keeps logging off too. Yeah, you know what? It's so funny. It's so funny. I don't know what's going on, but we seem to be having a lot of stuff on these browsers. So I apologize for that. Let's take a look at AMWL. AMWL. Let me see if I can give you some insight on that. AMWL. All right, American Well. Interesting. I don't know this company. Is this a driller? I suppose. Let's see. Provides telehealth. Oh, well. Okay, well done and well, but in well. Okay. Provides telehealth services using technical platforms for 26. Not a good-looking chart. Its earnings are in 13 days. I wouldn't buy this chart. It's just. I mean, it does have good relative strength. Let's look at the checklist. No, it's not good enough. And the fund ownership, no. I don't think you want this one. Let's look at Teladoc, which is kind of the other one. It might be, you want to buy the better company. Even Teladoc has problems. I'm looking at Teladoc here, and it doesn't look that good either. So, there's just a general sell-off in the market. It's really tough. When these general sell-offs come, you just kind of sometimes have to go and hide a little bit. So I'm sorry about that. Okay, problems with noise better than no. Okay, thank you, Ryan. Thank you very much. I had a problem with the interface, and so hopefully I'm back up running now. Thank you for bearing with me. I really appreciate it. Sometimes it gets super frustrating because I try to, put it on, and then I get some I got this thing called a search virus, and it's terrible. It's terrible. I have to admit. I'm in BABA at 301. Should I sell? Will it get worse? I think let's look at BABA. BABA, again, it's BABA is a Chinese stock, so it's not as connected to the U.S. market, but this isn't actually that bad a chart, to be honest with you. You're in at 301. It's at 303. Wow. You know what? Here's the thing. Close your position. I would close your position, take your profit, and let's wait because, you make your little 2% gain and then just take your toe out of the water. I think that, it's getting a little bit dicey. It's getting a little bit dicey. So I think we want to possibly, if you have a profit in it, probably a good idea to close positions. I'm not saying that you should, panic or anything like that. I'm not saying panic at all, but I'm saying trim your positions. Trim your positions now, because I do think that going into this election, if there is not a a result. Like this could be like Bush Gore, where it took 2 weeks for there to be a result, and the market took a dump during that period of time. So I think that's kind of what the market is telling us, is that we may not have a decision on Tuesday evening into Wednesday of next week. We may not know. And if that's the case, then the market is probably going to go down. So want to protect yourself. Cash is still the best hedge. I still have a few positions on, but I am seriously considering, you know, okay, do you suggest buying on the dip nowadays? No. Don't buy on the dip. Don't buy on the dip. Now, you could buy on the dip if we're in an ascending market, but we're not in an ascending market. We're in a market under correction. Do not buy on the dip, because a lot of times you're just going to catch a fall and it's going to go lower. When things start to break and things start to unwind, it happens relatively quickly. So the fact that Apple missed and the fact that Amazon missed, these are two of the strongest stocks out there. And it's time, it's time to kind of roll the tent up a little bit and wait until there's a better period to go. There's a better uptrend. Right now, the uptrend's under pressure. I believe that by Monday, we will be in correction. So be careful. Be very, very careful. All right. So is Tesla for long, or did you sell? I sold Tesla. I absolutely did. I sold Tesla today. It is out of my my portfolio. I will probably be back in though. I do think that I think we're going down a little bit lower. Let me kind of show you where I think Tesla is going to move. And I think I'll try to put out an action trade alert on this, but I do think that we're in for a little bit of heavy weather on Tesla. I think it could go to this line here, which is basically 330. I think it could go that low because of this trend here. See, we're in a downward trend on Tesla. I mean, I would like it to be different, but that's not what the chart is telling me. The chart is telling me the chart is telling me currently that this is the trend. Now, where will it stop? I believe it will test, because you see we're below the 50-day moving average. I think we're going to test at about 329. 329 is where I think we're going to test on Tesla. So I think it could move back to 329. Now at 329, I'm probably a buyer, but I pulled the ripcord. I sold my shares. I'm going to wait. I do think that Tesla is going to pull back, and it could give a very good opportunity when we get back in. But right now, I think it's a little bit dangerous to be in Tesla, because we are seeing a sell-off. We are seeing a sell. How long are you seeing sell-offs? Well, here's the thing. I definitely think that we're going to, it depends on the election, really, I think. It depends on two things. The first thing is the stimulus package. Right now, the Democrats and the Republicans are at loggerheads, and they're not, they're not putting out a stimulus package. So that's an issue. Secondly, if this is a contested election, and it may be, if it's a contested election and there isn't a victor on Tuesday. Now, in most of my life, this has never been a problem. This is really interesting. A lot has changed in my lifetime, and I'm not that old, but a lot has changed. Before these last few elections were almost always decided on the night of the election, and you knew basically by 11:30 Eastern time who won the election. That is not true anymore. And I do think that if we have a situation like Bush versus Gore in 2000, and I don't want to be in panic here, but I do think the market will sell off. I do think the market will sell off. Now, will it crash? No, because there's so many powerful companies like Tesla, like Amazon. But I do think it will correct. And so this is a time, I think, based on what happened today and yesterday and the day before, I was thinking that we would have kind of a movement back up towards the election. Not from what I'm seeing today. Quality companies like Apple are selling off, and that tells me that people are going to hunker down. So if it's time to de-risk your portfolio a little bit, and if you de-risk your portfolio now and it comes back, there's some buy points. I'll be all over that. But it's better to keep your capital, kind of be careful on your capital right now, because I do think that that there is a sell-off, and these sell-offs produces a very good thing afterwards, and that is you're able to buy as they come back. But right now you want to be careful. No new positions. Move into cash, and I think we're going to move a little bit lower, unfortunately. Any chance to see UAV tickers on your correct charts? Absolutely. Let's take a look. I finally got at the other ones. I'm sorry about that. I had some issues with with this browser virus, and I just, man, it sucks. But when that happens, I can't show my charts. I don't like that. All right, let's take a look at Argo Aerial Systems. Thanks for holding on. Appreciate it. It's still got a 98 relative strength. That's excellent, by the way. Let's look at the riding criteria. The checklist, unfortunately, just isn't good enough for me, and it's only 4 out of 9. I know that this is in a very good industry, and that has some real potential, but I just don't think it does have increasing fund ownership. That is very good. Here's the thing: I would wait. Currently, this stock is showing a trend like this. Let's take a look at this trend. This is not the trend you want. You don't want to go from high to low. You want to go from low to high. So I can't recommend this one right now. But it's definitely a watch list. It's a very inexpensive stock at $1.97. The reason these are tough to buy in a downturn is because they can get whacked very easily. They can move, just a few cents, and that is 7%, which is the sell rule. So tough to buy in a downtrend. So I apologize not being able to show you that, but I did. That is kind of the thing. There are funds moving into this issue, but it doesn't have a good buy point. Wait on this one until it gets to at least $3.92. If it moves over that, then you might have something. So there we go. Maybe this is a pre-election market. It might be. Who knows? I mean, so much weird stuff has been going on that I can't get my hands around it either. It's just weird. Everything's just kind of been strange this week. So sorry for everything like that. Okay, if the market goes down, will it affect? Absolutely, it will. It will absolutely affect Tesla and Netflix. So let's look at Netflix, and let's just kind of see if there's a next buy point on this one. And this is a little concerning for me because, as you can see, there's still a floor on this at about 458. But if this thing moves below 458, and the candle there's a long wick, and then there's a little candle at the end, so there is selling going on right now. It looks as if the trend, unfortunately, on Netflix right now, at least, is downwards, and so I just expect it to move down until it hits about this 458 level. That's what I suspect is going to happen. It's what happened was it tried to pull back to the 21-day exponential and the 50-day. It failed. It pulled back yesterday. That's why yesterday I thought it was going to turn here, because it pulled up to that line, but today it pulled back. So I think right now, at least right now for Netflix, I don't think you want to be in the issue. If you have profits in Netflix, it's probably a good time to sell, just in case. Thanks, brother. Thank you, man. I saw a gut fill today at, okay. Excellent. I think it may be at the bottom. That's true. That's true. You're right about that, right? And thank you very much for that comment. Very, very good. Yeah, I do think there will be a gap fill, but it's just so tough in this market with the market going the way it is. It's very, very difficult because we could have a overreaction, and we typically do have overreactions in the market. The market will overreact, and I think that's what might happen this time. So it's better to be safe rather than sorry. But we are going to see, some good stuff after they decide the election. So I'm going to take a look here at people that have been, have been on TikTok, and let's see, Snap. Is it still a good buy? Let's take a look at Snap. Snap has been a pretty good chart as of late, and it we'll just take a look at how it's trading today. I think it's down a little bit today, but it's still looking pretty good. I wouldn't necessarily buy it at this position, but it is moving right back to the 10-day the 10-day line. If it holds this line, if Snap can hold if Snap can hold about $38, I think it's going to be good. They had great earnings coming through earnings, and but it does look like it's pulling back. There was a gap up, and then it pulls back to the 10-day line. So, I wouldn't necessarily be out of Snap right now. I wouldn't, if I was still profitable in it. I would set a stop loss though at 93% of where you bought it at. I would, because this could pull back, but it does look Snap looks very good in this chart. So, we could be in a situation where where it's still good to go. It's still good to go. Thoughts on Joe. Joe, that's interesting. Is this Joe? I wonder if this is Joe Boxer. I wonder if that's this one. Let's look at Joe. Joe. St. Joe Company. Oh, this is the paper company. Yeah, and this I think at one time was one of the largest landholders in northwest Florida. Look at that, 91%. It's looking, this is a natural resources play. Not normally something that I would be as interested in, but it's got a 100% checklist, so I can't. And look at those funds, 99% in it. Options. Yeah, okay. This is looking very, very solid. Very, very solid. St. Joe Company. Looks like it's pulled back to the 10-day moving average. This looks like a very, very, very good stock. It's 99% funds. Very, very few retail buyers on this one. So, this does look good. It says owns and develops and sells towns and resorts, residential and commercial real estate, primarily in Florida. This is in Northeast Florida. And at one time, they were the largest private landholder. I think the other largest private landholder in Florida, is Disney, of course. And then I think it's the Mormon Church. I think it's the Mormon Church, St. Joe Company, and Disney are the three biggest private landholders in the state of Florida. So very good company. Very, very good. That's a good investment. I wouldn't buy it until after the election, but I can't see anything wrong with this chart, and I think it's got a buy point at 22.38. So interesting. Thoughts on Best Inc. Let's see if I can get that. BEST. Let's see if I can give you an idea on that. BEST. Yep, Best ADS, and this is China-based company. Interesting. It does not have a good chart. I will tell you that's right up front. It's got a downward trending chart. It's at $2.57 right now. It is not buyable, unfortunately. The checklist is only 2 out of 9. It does not. It fails there, and it fails on the number. It does have increasing fund ownership, though. That is a good sign. This is not unfortunately a stock that you can buy right now. It's just not good enough, unfortunately, to buy. So I apologize for that. It's always kind of a bummer with that, but I wouldn't buy this one. Best ADS, I think you're going to want to pass on it, just because it's just not really very good right now. All right, would you sell Tesla at 417 or 4? Yeah, I sold it today, and I sold it for less than that. I sold it for less than that. I would. I absolutely would sell it at this point because we're trending down. Now, I do think, here's the thing about Tesla. Now, you can hold it, and that probably will, I think it will bounce at about 360, but it violated a key level. So let's take a look at the chart again. And this is why I think we may be in for a little bit of pain when it comes to Tesla. And that's one of the reasons I sold, was because I will buy it again, but right now I'm probably not gonna do that. As you can see, there's a huge pullback here. We have downward trajectory here. It's going to test at about 351. That's going to be a first test. If it reverses direction at 351.30, then it may be buy. But until it gets to that, I think that we're in a situation where we might not see it firm up again. And the reason is because you can see there's been a fair amount of selling here. On the weekly chart, we can see it's pulled back below the 50-day average. It's still a 99 relative strength, still a great company, but it's going to probably, it looks like it may be giving up some of its gains. The next key level for it is about 367, 360. If it falls below that, then it's going to crawl to about 350. So right now, that's the reason I sold, is that, you know, once it broke that key level, I said, well, you know, I'm gonna sit this one out and wait until the turn, wait until after the election. So, you know, fortunately, I had some good profit in it, so it didn't get hurt that badly, but, you know, I definitely took a little bit of a loss. JMIA. Let's take a look at JMIA right now. JMIA. Oops. There we go. And that's this is the German company that operates in Africa. Interesting enough, it's pulled back today. Again, it's got a relative strength of 98. That's excellent. Let's look at the buying checklist. It's got a 6 out of 9. That's my minimum, so that's good. And it does have it's decreasing fund ownership, but just barely. So where would I go on this one? Not really showing me a lot in terms of this chart. Let's look at the monthly chart to see if there's This is a tough chart to buy. I think it is a downward trending chart, and I just think wait until this thing moves up a little bit more. It's pulled back to the 21-day exponential, which is good. It's right here at the 21-day exponential. I kind of do want to see it move, though, above about 23, and that's quite a ways to go. That it's at 14 right now, off $2.91 today, and the volume. So I can't. I don't think this gives you a good entry point on this one right now. Not necessarily bad stock, just not a really good place to enter buying it, I don't think. By the way, there is one stock that did break out today, and I want to show you this one because, you know, I've been all doom and gloom and, you know, blah blah blah, you know. But there is one that did break out today. It's Zendesk, and I may if this thing holds up, I may be back in this one. It's got a relative strength of 86, and it's pulled up. Actually, it pulled up. It hit the 21, the 50-day, and then it pulled up. Let's look at the daily chart to see if there's an entry point on it. And it did pull up right to the buy point, and then it pulled right back. So that kind of shows you. But there is a lot of buying strength on this one right now. Zendesk, Z-E-N. Checklist is 8 out of 9, which is good, and we do have increasing fund ownership. So those are two very, very good things. We do have also a relative strength line that's pointing up. That is a good sign as well, and we're above the 10-day moving average. So basically setting up really well. It's the only stock really today that's breaking out, and I don't know exactly why it's breaking out, but Zendesk is one that you might want to take a look at because it may be good. More sell-off on Monday. I think so. That's a very, very good comment. Thank you very much for that. I do think there's going to be some more sell-off on Monday because going into the election, it's just people are just trying to de-risk their portfolio, and I definitely sold quite a bit today as well. So I did. I sold my Tesla and I bought back the options. Fortunately, I bought back the options at a profit. I wish I could say that about the underlying stock, but I did buy back the options at a profit, so that softened the blow a little bit. But I do think there is going to be. I think the sell-off is going to continue into Monday, and we'll see if the election is quick. Then I think that it should firm up. But I'm afraid that if we do have a draw election or something like that, we could see a large sell-off in the market. Down and dusted. I'm 100% a guess. Yes, sirree. I think you are so right. Hey, it's just it's one of those things. I think you're smart to be in cash right now. I really do. I think you're smart to be in cash. I'm not fully in cash. I'm about 75, 80% in cash, but you're in the right place with cash. That's a good move. Better, here's the thing. Better to have cash right now and then when it falls more, because the key thing that happened today is we saw some stocks that were very strong like Amazon and Apple pull back, and those are bellwether stocks. And so we might be in a little bit of a consolidation here, and we might be in a little pullback. So Very good idea to sell, get into cash. I think you did the right thing. Absolutely. Tesla buy point. Let's look at the Tesla buy point. Not time probably to be buying Tesla today. I was a seller today on Tesla, but let's look at the buy points that we have on Tesla. There are some buy points, by the way. The most prominent buy point is at 502.49. The problem with that is it's 388.04. So it's pulled back a little bit from that. It's pulled up a little bit in after hours. It seems like, it's traded up a little bit at 388.04. Now, the thing is, we'll see if it, hopefully Tesla can hang on to this and move higher, but it may pull back. I'm thinking to about 351.30, and the reason I'm thinking that is because that is sort of the last, that's the last time that it basically tested. So I think there is potentially, on a consolidation, a buy point at about 351.30. That's kind of where I'm looking at. There is another buy point below that, but I don't think that is as important at about 329. So, but I'm, because of the pullback today, that's why I sold. It lost strength, and I'm just waiting. And I think that, it will bounce. I'm pretty sure of that. But I think we may get a pullback all the way to about the 351 level. And that's kind of what it's looking at. There's a very interesting thing here, pre-split, where it did make a sort of a stand at about this level here, about 359. So that's kind of what I'm looking at in terms of Tesla. So let me show you the chart I've kind of put together here. The reason this 359 and 351 is important is because it seems like there's support at this level, and I think if we have a pullback, I think we may bounce at about this level. That's kind of what I'm looking at. I know that that's sort of what it's saying to me in terms of the way the chart is looking on the daily chart. Now on the weekly chart, let's pull over to the weekly chart to see if there's anything there. It's a little bit hard to see on the weekly chart, but I do think, as you can see, yeah, there it is. There's the consolidation, and the consolidation on the weekly chart is right about here, and that's about the 330 level. So I don't know if it'll pull back all the way to the 330 level. I think it's probably more likely to trade down to about the 359 to 351 level. And then that's about right here. So I do think we're going to see a bounce there. That's why I'm out, and I'm waiting for it to come back so that I can trade it again. Because I do like Tesla a lot. I just wanted to preserve my capital. That's why I sold today. Do you think we should sell everything? I think it's a good idea to get into cash right now. I really do. What about OSTK? Let's look at OSTK really quick to see if I can give you something there. OSTK. And let's take a look there. No, overstock. No. Unfortunately, it is also giving us fits and starts. It's pulled way back below. It's still 99 relative strength, but this is just telling me because this is a strong sell signal. This is a sell signal right here, folks. You have a pull down with a wick where the wick is very tall wick at the bottom, and then you have this line here, the volume line, all the way up to the moving average. This is a sell signal. This is a change in direction. Unfortunately, overstock is going to go lower in the next few weeks. This is what the chart is saying. It is going to be moving lower than it is currently. It's at 56.10. It's off $5.78 today. So I wouldn't buy overstock at this time. It just doesn't look good, unfortunately. Stock on GE. GE, obviously one-time great company. It's been having its troubles as of late. I also want to look at Ford here a second. It's pulled up to the 200-day, which is actually pretty good. It's still not buyable, but it has pulled up to that 200-day moving average. That's this black line here, and it's pulled back a little bit. I think that it's 742. That's not necessarily bad. It's been trending up as of late, but I just don't see this one recovering until we get up above $10. I just don't. So checklist is 33. I can't recommend it, unfortunately. Can't recommend GE. I know it's inexpensive, but typically stocks are inexpensive for a reason, and the reason is they're going lower. If you'll notice, ExxonMobil, which has been, for 100 years one of the great stocks, it can't make its dividend this time. So lots of change in the market. Hey, Jim, what's your prediction for early next week and after the election? I do think that I have two ways of looking at this. If we're able to get a decision on the election, the night of or the night after or the day after, then I think the market probably will rally. Okay, but if we don't, if we get a drawn out, Bush versus Gore type of situation like we had in 2000, I don't know if a lot of not in 2000 in 2000 and Ed 4. If we get that, then I think we're in for some heavy sailing, because I do think the market will sell off if that's the case. So, right now I think that there is a lot of political risk right now in the market, and I do think we're going to get a sell-off. I do think we're going to sell off. Hopefully we'll recover by the end of the year, but I do think we're going to get a sell-off. All right. So, any idea about FSR? Let's look at FSR to see if there's anything there. FSR. I am not seeing that symbol. Did I get that right? FSR. Okay, I apologize. It's been a great dividend on CEOP. You like it? Let's look at CEOP. CEOP. Oh, I don't see that one either. I apologize for that. I don't get that either. CWH. Let's look at CWH. CWH. Camping World. Camping World is actually a very good company. I like Camping World. It's pulled back a little bit below the 21-day exponential. So, there you go on that. But 96 rating. Passes on 6 of 9. Good. Fund ownership is increasing. This is a good stock. It's a stock you want to probably watch list. There's earnings in 3 days, though. Don't buy this thing into earnings. Wait. Don't buy this thing into earnings. Wait a little bit. Wait a little bit. I think that's the way to go. That's the way to go on that as well. Okay, so let's see. We have some other. Thank you, man. What charts are you using? Oh, thank you, Tony. What charts are you using, and is it available to your viewers? Yes, it is. Absolutely. It is. Actually, I don't make this software. It's made by the Investor Business Daily, and it's called MarketSmith. And so that is the name of the stock. I don't get any information on that, but it's a great. This is some of the best software. I moved to this about several months ago, and I just think it is the best stuff. It has a lot of stuff in it that you just don't find anywhere else. It's MarketSmith by Investor Business Daily. Just press FSR, click to enter. Oh, it's an IPO. Won't show in the list. FSR. Okay. FSR. If it's an IPO, no, I'm sorry, I can't give you any info on that one. I wish I could. ABBV. Let's look at ABBV. ABBV. Yeah, there we go. And it develops commercial products to treat. It's a biotech. Kind of a cool one. So let's take a look at ABBV. It's pulled up nicely to the 21-day moving 21-day exponential with lots of strength there. Nice. This is bucking the trend. So this is a strong stock. Checklist is definitely good. 6 out of 9. That's acceptable. 37% funds. This is definitely a good stock. Very good stock. It's a little bit of a downward trending chart. It's moved from about 100 in the end of June, and it's trended down. I would like to see this one turn. I'd like to see this thing move above the 200-day moving average before I bought it, but it does have a cup pattern there, so it is potentially buyable. Here's the thing. I would wait to see some more strength on this one. I would wait until we could get up to about this line here, which is about the 90. Let's see if it moves beyond about $90 a share. Let's see if it reverses, and I think then you might have a winner. Let's look at the daily chart to see if there's, yeah, it's pulled up very nicely with lots of strength there. It's pulled above the 21-day. Here's the thing: I wouldn't buy this one yet because it has what they call the death cross, and I hate to say that, but this is the 50-day moving average, and this is the 200-day. This is crossing the 200-day. That is essentially a change in trend. Now, hopefully, this is a change in trend to the upward side. That's what I'm seeing here, but I want to see it confirm a little bit more. I want to see it get above this 88.80 before I'd be very interested in it. I think this is a watch list and not a buy right now, but it's definitely not a bad stock. So there you go. Okay, you think stocks are going to go bounce back up? Well, I don't know if that's going to be the case. They're going to bounce up if we have a quick, if the election has a quick is resolved. Either way. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen this time. So, I just, I have to be a little bit, skeptical. Let's look at PayPal. I do think we're going to be seeing a sell-off into the election and then possibly after us. PYPL is the, yeah, oh, goodness. And this had such a good chart too. PayPal had just a phenomenally good chart. And this is what I'm saying. This is why I think we're coming into a little bit of heavy weather, because we're looking at companies that have phenomenal charts and they're not even able to hold the line. That's telling me we're going to be in a sell-off here. This is as you can see, the selling line is above the average, and the wick is down. That is a sell signal for PayPal. That is a sell signal for PayPal. We have had, this is probably, we're going to find out on Monday, but I think we have a distribution today. So there is some institutional selling right now going on. Not a good time probably to be in PayPal, but the checklist is still excellent. It's 100% with increasing fund ownership, at least as we stand here. But I do think going into the election, I think a lot of these funds are taking their profits because they may, depending on who is going to, to hedge into the election. They're not going to hold probably through the weekend. Most people are selling. I sold a lot today, and I may sell more on Monday, but I'm pretty much in cash right now. So that's kind of what I'm seeing out there. I'm seeing a lot of really, really strong selling activity. Tesla would be good if Biden wins. Well, actually, I think Tesla is going to be good if Biden wins and if Trump wins. I don't think it's going to matter with Tesla, because I do think that we are moving to a electrical vehicle economy. I really do. So I don't think it matters, Biden or with Trump on Tesla. I think Tesla is the start of a new thing. I think we're moving to gasoline, moving away from gasoline vehicles to electrical vehicles, and I think that's a trend, and that's definitely going to be intensifying. I think it's going to intensify under either, under either way, because remember, it was under the Trump administration that Tesla really ran up in price. So I think it's going to be. I think Tesla will be good in both, both in a Biden and in a and in a Trump administration. So I don't think that depends as much. Some of the other ones, yes, the healthcare stocks definitely will be affected. Right now, if Biden wins, the healthcare stocks typically are going to do better. The United Healths of the world are going to do better because they're going to be able to charge more. So I do think that the healthcare stocks, the pharma stocks, will do better under Biden than under Trump right now. And but I don't think that's the case with Tesla. I think Tesla is good on both ways. So my opinion there, but I'm sticking to it. Well, I have come through an hour here. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I had some. I have a virus. I have in Chrome, if you can believe that, and I had a little bit of trouble today with some of the things. But if I'm not having trouble with I'm not having any trouble with my. You see, this is the thing you want to watch out for. It's called Search. and this is a virus. So I have it on my system as we speak. So be careful on that. If you want to be on our list for trade alerts, it's super easy. Just go to www.dallastradingfloor and sign up. It's totally free. And I hope to see you on Monday. Hopefully, I'll have some trade alerts out. So if you're signed up, you'll be receiving those, and of course, they're all free. So, thanks again, and I will be back at 2:30 on Monday. Happy trading.